Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to teamfortress.tv. It is more ETF2L Season 29 Premiership coverage, and it's playoff, babies. Woo! Yay, we made it! Yay! Alright, well, before we get into all that, I should introduce myself. I am TurboTabs. I am but your humble play-by-play caster for the evening, but I'm not alone. I'm joined by the medic champion of Season 28. It is Babs. How's it going, Babs?
Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. Kind of nervous. My second cast for the night. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Nah, man, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be dandy. Whilst we're not alone here, Babs. I mean, there's one crucial figure that we're missing his name, and without him, we would be nothing. It is the UGC second 4v4 champion, if you can call him that. It's Gemm. Season 9, excuse me. But you got second place, though. Let's get this clear. Before funds robbed him of his destined crown. Anyway, let's move on to our Premiership bridge. It is upper bracket round 1. If you've not been paying attention, Babs, it is Se7en versus liest doof. I've only practiced that about 7 times tonight, so I'm feeling pretty good around about now. I think I might actually graduate the name the Germans from them now. But are you excited about the playoff, Babs? Have you been watching this season at all?
Definitely. Well, I've trying to catch up with the season, obviously, but it's hard. Kind of focusing on real life right now, taking a break of TF2. But seeing the whole Rust change in 7 is gonna be very exciting for me since Vedas Listisdorf is obviously a kind of new coming team, but still kind of strong, like unexpected back in the days. So I'm excited to see how they will compete against 7.
Yeah, what an excellent time to maybe transition into some reports. Gemm, get some reports for our stream viewers, as we will probably list off the first one that you can pluck her up. But yeah, I was just as surprised to see. I bet if I told anybody at the season that, oh, 7, they're going to fall apart, they're going to get a whole new roster, half of this roster is going to be switched out, everyone would call me mad, they'll be calling me crazy, but lo and behold, it's 7. It is question mark on medic. It is Cadus on Demoman. AMS will be playing that pocket soldier. Disky will be filling in Drac for that roaming soldier, or more like taking his shoes, really. And Flash and Tiger will be playing that scout class. And that question mark I mentioned earlier, Babs, that's actually going to be played by Seeds. But I didn't really want to slap him into the roster just yet, Babs, because he's still trialing, bless him.
Yeah, definitely. 7 been trying to look for a medic as far as I know, and just like trying new players out, I guess, and see how seeds compete, especially. And we will see if he will be there for them next season and play with them. So it's gonna be really interesting for this as well. Maybe 7 isn't playing at all next season. Who knows?
Oh. But Babs, where was your invitation during all this? Surely they would have wanted to snap up the Season 28 medic champion. How come they've taken Seeds? Who is this guy? I've never heard of him.
I actually was asking myself that too, but I think because I haven't been around. I mean, I know seeds, but um, I think they didn't really know that I am still up for playing since I haven't been playing since the season.
Ah,
So yeah. Seeds has been doing pretty well as much as I've seen, so I'm sure he's ready to slay.
ready to slay
I,
like
I
any good
believe.
medic.
I believe in him.
All right, well, we should probably gloss over to the word Ver das Liest ist doof. And so as we're pulling that report for you up on stream now, the roster is Kratos on medic, Smear on Demoman, Fishkoff on that pocket soldier, Clip on that roaming soldier, Isolos playing that scout alongside the legendary Shocky himself. Whew, that is it's a pretty sweet roster. Some pretty sweet names on there, Babs. Is there any particular names you're going to be watching out for tonight on this roster?
Definitely Stefan or Shocky, Smir, and Kratos. Like I was surprised he returned to TF2 after such a long time. So I'm happy to see him back, I guess, and I'm ready to see some spicy gameplay from them too.
Before we get into the sheer gameplay, we have to realize what sort of flavor gameplay we're going to get. And we do have the playoffs now. That does mean we're going to be going into a best of 3, not these best of 2s that we've been faffing about all season long. Best of 3s does mean that if the Se7en or liest doof can clean up in the first 2 maps without letting the other team win, they obviously will just be cut short. And I'm being told we're live in 90, but I think we could have a quick little peek of our maps before we go live, so hopefully that will be loaded up for you any second now, but otherwise I will go through them manually with my words. It will be Se7en banning out product, followed up by liest doof banning snake water. They did pick the process map over on the German squad, whilst over on the Se7en squad they picked Prolands, and then their final pick was Gullywash. Now, Babs, talk to me about these maps. Any sort of knee-jerk reactions or kind of expected picks from either of these teams at all?
Well, I definitely expected Gullywash, but I didn't expect it from liest, but more like from Se7en.
Sorry about the graphic. The graphic is slightly incorrect because it should be that, yeah, Se7en picked that map because of the way that the ETF2L system works. They get a free ban, but our system is a bit limited in a way that we can only give it in a certain order. So yes, you're right in the right on the money that it was a pick out from Se7en. As we are going live, Babs. There's no time to actually get into the rules or the rhyme or the reasonings behind these map picks. It's just how they are. And we are joined on our first map. It is CP Process. It's Se7en versus liest doof. And the first thing I'm seeing on mid, Babs, is just a lonely Kato.
Demo. Yeah, I was thinking the same. So we had a pretty slow going through the sewer area. Getting like not really much damage. Meanwhile, Cadus is like already on mid, just getting all the damage and looking out the players.
Yeah, he will die for the cause though. He's the first one to get cleaned up over on that Se7en squad, losing that round for the liest doof. But the scouts are starting to take effect. They're crawling all over Se7en, and here comes the Disky bomb, hits them right into the cranium, right into the heart and soul of liest doof, and they're all but a crater at this point now, Babs. They're going to cap that midpoint. They're all likelihood going to cap that second point as well, and it's only Clip alive, and I don't think he's going to find a play because he's already got a sight line of a Disky, and so does he.
Yeah, that was a really good follow-up from their scouts, just like following up on Cadus damage and going backwards, even though they lost Cadus pretty early in that fight. So that ended up in the little wipe.
Well, it is just but the first step of what should be 1,000 miles in this playoff, as they will Uber in from this right-hand side, take out the sentry gun really quickly. They have to deal with this heavy weapons guy, though. The longer he's alive, the more of a force he's going to be, and that's the first thing Kato is trying to kind of cover at this point now, but he's actually covering the point, and I wish I could say the same about liest doof, but they kind of doofed it up there, Babs.
Yeah, let's see if Smith is gonna make it early to this mid now. I'm intrigued.
God, this is not the way that they were hoping things to go. Keep in mind, Babs, this was the map pick from liest doof. You'd think they've been doing their homework or they've got some sort of plan set involved for Se7en, but I'm sure this is not going to plan so far. Disky goes in for a very, very quick bomb, gets a early damage onto Smear there, but will back off, get a crossbow. It's like it never happened. Adisky will go down for such a power play, though. Clip will find the kill onto Falashes as well. That's a big follow-up kill, and from there it's kind of dominoing from that point on. They do keep Steeds alive, however, and Tiger will back off with his medic. It does make me wonder if they're going to keep this aggression up over on liest doof. They are trying to enter this choke point now. Disky's trying to give them reasons not to, though, with that spam. Fishcock comes in from this left-hand side over from the computer room area, but doesn't really find a connecting shot. The DM of Tiger will prevail against that Se7en aggression. The Uber's been popped. Kratos is screaming at his team. Team, I need you in here right now. And Seed has responded with his own Uber. Keep in mind, he hasn't gone down during all of this. Idlos is trying to fight over on second. He will go down. The aggression will keep rearing its head forward. The soldiers want to go back into Se7en? Alright, well, I guess when they lose Kratos just a moment ago, it is the play to go for that medic, but it's just not going in any way, shape or form on the Germany side, Babs.
Yeah, definitely. They're just being kind of rolled over by the Se7en aggression once again, just getting caught in. Kratos taking a lot of spam and therefore getting forced in that choke area. So now it's going to be Uber out for Seeds too. I'm guessing they're going to just build it out and wait to take that last point.
Babs, you've played in many of these playoffs before. If you're a team like Verdas, are you panicking right now? Are you wondering that the game is slipping out of your fingers, or is this just all expected when you're playing against Se7en?
No, definitely not. I think you kind of need to keep your head in the game, especially if you're a medic, just trying to coordinate those plays. Actually, they're focusing the point once again. Verdas is trying to block it off, but only 8 of us right now around the point area. And it seems like Se7en is not managing to cap the point quite yet.
I am incredibly puzzled.
I don't know what happened right now. they were focusing the point so well and they got a lot of cap time, but then suddenly everyone kind of stopped focusing the point and just trying to get all the plays. Like these on the back cap, it's so close. It's literally just 1 millimeter off, and I think like we're trying to go behind, but it's kind of getting caught off by the scouts of Verdas.
It's terrible, Babs. It's when you watch all these players together from a third-person view, you could see this point is ripe for the taking for like a good solid 30 seconds for Se7en, but they just really wanted a frag. They wanted to punish nerds, and it was the rope that kind of hung themselves, as Se7en will get the kill onto Kados. That opening kill will kind of invite them into this midpoint. They've got a sniper to deal with, however. Flash is sitting on that back line, and Tiger doesn't need a scout partner right now. That's why they've got that Flash sniper up, and they do have Kratos alive, but for how much longer? He's feeling a little bit of hate from these soldiers. Se7en's trying to be the sacrificial lamb to kind of dissuade them from chasing Kratos, and Kratos, oh, he actually goes down to AMS, and a Disky wants to actually follow up the damage that AMS is laid upon. It's not good enough that they've got the medic, they want more kills, Babs. Oh, is it? Say it ain't so, Babs. There must be something going right for the Germans.
I don't know, it seems like Se7en is really greedy with their frags right now, just like trying to focus down and get assist as much as possible, and Thalish with a nice little hatchet on Smir, kind of saving the point for Se7en there. And this is round number 2. Let's see if maybe Verdas has a better chance at round 3.
Oh damn, Babs. I think Se7en must have like a hot date tonight, or someone's got some Pilates appointment that they need to attend, because they are just hitting it like in 5th gear at a constant rate. There's no stopping, there's no waiting, they're just constantly going, and not even giving any sort of chance.
Smir is so slow once again, just like arriving after his soldiers. It's like, again, pretty bad for Verdas, kind of getting stuck in a little corner. Meanwhile, Kados is pressuring them, hitting a nice little pipe on Smir. Everyone is so weak on Verdas, and I think they're just gonna get rolled over by the scouts again.
Yeah, Tiger actually cleans him up with the bit of the quad pistol in the background there. We'll kind of circle back to meet Se7en, actually picks up the Kratos kill instead. And Se7en is showing why he is like the king of scouts. He is dodging both of these scouts for so long, who had a medic buff during all of this as well. I think Se7en was kind of 1v5ing the entire team for that final moments. I think he survived longer than his entire team combined.
Yeah, definitely. I think he tried to get the medic pick, but couldn't like quite get it. So let's see what they're gonna do for a second. I think they're trying to kind of delay them, but I wouldn't lose players right here. And as I say, this clip trades with Badisky actually with a nice little air shot, I think that was.
Yeah, they will trade out. They will give up that second point eventually, but can you blame him? It's such a hard point to hold on to if you haven't got that Uber in the back pocket.
Is actually on Crit's Creek, so I don't know what he's trying to achieve with it, but
oh, well, he ain't achieving anything with it anymore, as they are just ransacking the point. It's 3-0 already. It's not even 10 minutes have passed, Babs.
I'm out of words, honestly. I don't even know what to say anymore. This is not the Se7en I used to know what happened.
Babs, quick. Verdas doof needs some words of wisdom from a medic champion such as yourself. They need to know, what can they do? How can they snap out of this? What's the way to win this game back?
Definitely try to focus. Actually, 1 second. Kados this time is quite slow compared to Smir, but I would tell Verdas just keep your head in game, try to focus down these soldiers and the scouts rushing over your demo man, you know. It's like, try to keep on fighting and put up with the aggression and kind of try to counter it. Don't back out. And actually, as I say this, Verdas is losing their medic once again.
Jesus, Babs, I could have sworn that the jetpack was only reserved for the pyro, but I'm seeing flying players all over. Blue players just towering above Smear and his buddies, and Kratos will get picked off from the sky, and the rest of the team doesn't really know what to do past that point. They will just back off in disbelief, and that's like another Uber in their back pocket for Se7en, another advantage. And good God, look at the dominations on those scouts, and they're actually towering above onto the server. And it's not like Seed has been having a bad game either. AMS will receive a bit of hate. Oh, actually, there we go, double revenge kill onto that Tiger Boy, as he will get clipped by that pipe over by Smear, and they will back off for now, give up second, but this is expected. They've got an Uber charge over on Se7en, and that's a bit scary for them to deal with right now. They will have an Uber charge of their own any second now, but any second now is not quick enough. They already got point pressure. They're in here practically for free, and they've got such a good Uber to work with now. It's a shame they did drop Cadus during that Uber exchange. Everyone's attention was tied just a little bit. Flash is making the kind of flank around, almost gives away his position for a moment. They're busy trying to put him down. The flash kill, takes a crossbow, gets back onto the point. Oh, it was kind of a ring around the roses play, Babs. He just drew all of those lost little lambs back into the shelter and then went back onto the point. The cheek on the Danishman. And she disconnected in disbelief. If I was with you, Babs, I would leave just as well. I'm disgusted by this German play. This is their map as well. Shame on them. We're entering another mid, and Smear is exiting another mid. He will go down very quickly before any red players even make it to the midpoint. And the Disky wants to... Oh no, he's just teasing about entering that chokeway. And Babs is joined us back after that disgusting display. I know, Babs, I wanted to take 5 minutes as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, my internet cut out. As I call it, actually, Kate is getting denied by the scouts. I mean, the Fishka pitching that little nice shot on a G-ski too. So it's like right now 4v6. So maybe Verasys still is trying to find the opening and going for either a trade or a force play. Looks like they're trying to trade this, but Tiger's actually going behind him as well, going for that flank. But Stefan is there to meet him. Let's have a look at this little 1v1.
Yeah, and they are trying to make a play over on this front side while Tiger was going down, but he does lose out to the Shocky Man himself. Falash is kind of unseen by the rest of these players from Verdas Doof. You think he would be focused out a little bit quicker during all of that gameplay, but was never really isolated, and because of that they couldn't enter that mid, and they will throw AMS in against Smear, forces out the Uber. Kratos wants to go aggressive. Look how aggressive he wants to go. He's the first one out the door, and Smear is screaming at him, come back, Kratos. This is not 2009. We actually think about how we use these Ubers, and he will tread back. They're building a sentry gun now to deal with this Uber charge that will be coming in from Cadus, that I say should be coming in from Cadus. They will pop against the scary OP Flame Man, and they start capping that point again. I'm sure we all know how this goes. They pop the Uber, they get some point pressure, they're actually going for the kills instead this time, really rubbing it in the noses of this German squad, and the 5 times is followed up. Not even everybody dies before they cap the point. It's 5-0, it's not even past 13 minutes in this game. Babs, reactions?
I am honestly, I am out of words. I don't know what to say. This aggression from Se7en just rolling over, getting no denial at all from the players from Verasys stuff, just paid off and saving them the map, even though Verasys stuff picked this map, which isn't looking good for them for the next coming up map, which will be Badlands, I think.
You are correct. It will be our next map. It will be the first choice of Se7en, and just to kind of give you a glimpse of where it might go, Babs. In week 7, these two teams faced off, and the process map was probably the closest one. They went to the full time. They actually got 2 rounds under the belt over on the Germans, but you can tell who's been doing their homework and who hasn't between these two squads. And also another thing to note, in that week 7 game where they played Badlands, they won 5-0 over on Se7en. So if you thought this was bad, Babs, next is going to be an absolute car crash.
I am not ready for this car crash. I feel so sorry for Verasys stuff, because they started off pretty decently considering that they're a new team, but right now they're like kind of getting crashed by Se7en.
Well, we do have the logs loaded up for us. As I mean, what can we really analyze at this point? What questions can I possibly ask you, Babs? It feels more like a golden cap log looking at it. Damage is so
Yeah.
low, deaths are so low. There's not even a single double digit on any of these players. And
Well,
there was a 5
Dalish
0.
getting the 16 kills, so I guess
I
that's
mean,
what we can point out. But
whew.
again, Scouts just rolled over them. As I said before, it's like versus being a really scout and demo focused map, and Dalish and Tiger found that balance and just rushed over the team as soon as they were weak and just cleaned up all the frags.
I could see why Grandmaster Kado was slipping some £10 and £20 notes to the admins to get Feiger off that ban, because that kid was just destroying nerds for the first at least 20. I want to say first 20 minutes of the game, but it didn't even come to 20 minutes of the game. It was like the first 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes later, the game was ending. So we do have the medic stats before us. It's probably a bit cruel to look at these two medics and a game like this, but is there any sort of expert knowledge you can lay upon me, Babs, looking at these medic stats?
I gotta say, considering that they got rolled, like Vedasi Sistov Kratos actually got quite a good heals. Seeing that Smir was the main healing target because he
Mm.
took quite a lot of damage, I think.
Mm.
And then just trying to build Yuba with Stefan, I'd say. But in the end, it didn't really pay off seeing that Kratos died 8 times compared to Seeds 1 time and just getting
Ugh.
picked up in the worst situations and just dying when they had Uber and stuff like this, which shouldn't happen, definitely not. But it's hard to analyze these logs if you get just rolled over, you know.
Mm. Well, let's talk a little less about the maths, Babs. Let's talk about the mentality of these teams right now. Now, you're a long time player. You've played on probably both sides where you've got those hard 5-0s you have to deal with, in those times where you've just rolled the enemy team so hard you're practically laughing in the mumble. What's it like on both of the sides of this coin here? How do you think Se7en are feeling right now? Do you think they're getting cocky, maybe,
Well,
or?
yeah, I think Se7en is like kind of laughing about Verasys stuff or just trying or they aren't really in the game anymore or taking it that much seriously. Meanwhile, I think Verasys stuff is kind of going into a more sad phase and maybe
Hmm.
discussing what they could change on this map to maybe at least one map point or something like this. But as you said, I've been on both sides, and the most important part here again is just on both sides as well. Keep your head in the game. Just try not to lose your focus and
Oh dear
just
God! Oh God!
just make
Look!
the best out of it.
Look away from that domination board. Oh
Oh
God,
my
it is
god.
cruel to look at. It's just all blue and it's on one side and all red on the other. I mean, you do see Smear dipping against a Disky for a little bit, but a Disky's programmed to die. He's the roaming soldier. He's gonna die. So I'm not gonna give that to the word SE stuff. No, sirree. As we are heading into our next map of the evening, I'm sure if there's anything we can be assured of, Babs, is like these guys are professionals. They know how to hopefully pick up what little pieces they have and move it past them and go into their next map. So we should probably do the honor and do the same as well. Now, our second map will be Badlands, and I'm fortunate this evening to actually have a prem mind like yourself to pick your brain over on this map. I am an out of touch gamer. I don't know how Badlands is played anymore. I'm used to CP well in maps like that. So, what can you tell me about Badlands, Babs? Is there anything sort of strange or weird? It used to be a popular map, but now it's not so popular anymore.
Well, I think why it's not so popular anymore is because it's really random at many times because it really depends on the mid fights. If your medic goes down on the mid, you're most likely gonna end up on loss, and if you don't back out early enough, you can easily get rolled and just
Mm,
like lose the map already. But it's like so hard to say how to play this map because again, there's so many ways you can play it. You can
mm,
send your soldiers into the team. It can work out for you. It can't work out for you. They're like I think that's why so many teams don't really enjoy to play it because it's not something you can really practice
mm.
as a team because the situations are always quite different. And I think that's why it's also not that popular anymore.
So, if you had to make sort of like a win scenario, then somehow make a sense of the randomness for Verdasti stuff. You're like team coach right now. Babs, what do we do? What is the game plan for these mids?
Oh god. Okay. I would say make sure you deny the soldiers. So I would put my medic either into like delaying him in the slope area or moving him straight passive to choke and let my scouts deal with the jumping soldiers since they
Hmm.
did a lot of damage. Meanwhile, trying to jump my soldiers to their combo, trying to get some damage off. Meanwhile,
Hmm.
Smir should also do a lot of damage. Again, it's like really damage based and cleaning up the frags and making sure your medic doesn't die and that you
Hmm.
have a scout with him all the time. But it's it's really hard to say what Verasistov should do at this
Hmm.
point. So
Well, I mean, we're going to be live very shortly now, but I know what we think Verdasti is stuff. God, these pronunciations are getting worse by the cast, but we know what they should be doing. But what do you think is going to happen, Babs? Who do you think is going to take this? I know, obviously, a very tight, hard prediction, but who do you think is going to win it?
I still believe in Verasistov and I think they could take it, but I'm sorry, I still think that Se7en is gonna take it. I hope that they will put up a better fight than they did on Process and that they might get at least like 2 points or something, but it's hard to believe in it, you know? As much as I believe in this team, it's still
Damn. Now I have to bite the bullet and take the prediction with Verdasti stuff, not just to be devil's advocate in this scenario, but I don't know. I could see maybe Smear is just got such an anti-tilting, calm presence that nothing could trigger this guy. So I think a quick 5-0 like that is not going to bother him at all. He's just going to say some very calm words, and he's probably going to have a new map, a new sense, and a new duty on these mids. If he gets out a good mid in the first gate, he'll kind of start feeling his groove. Who knows? Maybe this is all they need. They just need to get that little one successful thing to get the ball rolling over on Verdasti stuff. Anyway, we are straight into our second map. It is CP Pro Lands. If you haven't been paying attention, it is playoff upper bracket round 1, ETF2L season 29, Se7en versus Verdasti stuff. And the first thing I see is a disc bombing into Smear, and there's a pause, Babs.
yeah, this is really weird, I guess. It's like that early in the game. I mean, the mid just started and they're already pausing, so maybe they lost a player or someone's timing out.
I'm telling you what's happening, Babs. It's going to be a tactical pause, if anything. It's the old, oh no, my mouse is broken. Can we take 5 minutes, maybe 15, so I can micromanage every single player on my team right now? I mean, could it be that? Do you agree, or does that ever happen in Prem TF2, Babs? Do people take those tactical pauses anymore?
Well, I don't think it should happen on the first mid, to be honest. You should talk about this in pregame. So I think that it's still happening, but I don't think it should happen this early in the game.
So, what?
Oh,
well.
okay. I guess someone timed out definitely because they
they
unpaused.
just for a second, just to let that person in. If you aren't familiar with the source engine out there, it is it is old now. It's clocking in about 10 years at this point. And there we go. We're back to normal. We're back to the mid. And if you haven't been keeping up,
Clip picking up seeds. Sorry, interrupted you.
Oh no, interrupt. That was a big kill, and it demanded the interrupt. As with seeds going down, that does mean they can't roll this midpoint into a last push just as easily, kind of banking on that uber charge advantage. Now they'll be actually getting their own uber. Oh wait, no, they actually respawn at the same time now. So it's going to be even. Apart from the midpoint, they're just going to have to wait about for each of their medics to kind of assume the position right now. They're kind of being a little bit sheepish on Word Nasty stuff, but they did lose the first map in like, what, 13 minutes. So I think they've got more than enough reason to be a bit scared right now.
That is actually on spy, kind of like sitting on the grey bridge area and just trying to go for the medic.
He's right behind Kratos. He stabs him. Oh, no. Nobody expected that, especially Kratos. And with him down now, they've got an uber charge almost ready for Team 7. They're just kind of working out the kinks in house right now. Tiger will actually go down to one of those kings. Adelos is still kind of chugging for his team. They will throw AMS in, and in good MGE fashion, he gets slapped back down by a scout, and they will give up their second point. And they've got Se7en actually on the spy class as well. I mean, fight fire with fire, you know.
Yeah, definitely. We will see if he can do anything before they actually decide to push. He's actually going behind him right now in the lobby area. He's just turning the back. Is this gonna be a drop?
Oh,
and
gets
it
him.
is. This will definitely slow down Se7en right now, waiting out for the medic to spawn. And Kratos having that little Uber ad, so maybe we'll see them actually trying to push out. But at this point, you need to be careful that you don't see anyone go behind you, because as soon as you let anyone behind you, probably gonna get back up. The DSK actually hiding, and I think he's actually bombing Kratos right now.
Well, he was
Not
bombing
doing
Kratos right now. Yeah, gets shot down by Idolos. I think they almost saw the bomb coming, maybe heard the rocket jump in the faint distance. With him going down, that does mean Kratos will get that overcharge up and running, and a nice advantage for the Germans for once, as they're starting to make their way through this choke point. They'll deal with AMS, who's trying to force out some of these players, maybe even get a sneaky kill or a Uber force perhaps, but they'll have to just settle with an Uber kept over on the Germans and a midpoint capped as well. Kratos is setting up his trademark sticky traps on that point where a scout will land into it and get picked off. It happens pretty much every time I watch it. Oh no, Se7en, he knows his tricks. He's watched a fair few of these games. He knows that Kratos is trying to go for those traps. They will get that overcharge during all of that delaying though, so this is a plan B for Se7en, and maybe not the most fortunate of plans, because it does mean you're on last point on Badlands.
Yeah, definitely, but it's still nice to see that Versus' doof actually pushed without getting that midpoint and also Spire, so we're seeing a even Uber scenario with Stylish putting up a sentry gun as well, and the Pyro on the side of Se7en too, so we will see how they're gonna handle this.
What is the way to deal with the Pyro nowadays, Babs? Is he just too powerful for to deal with right now, or is there an actual concrete way of getting him down?
I'm just actually going behind him and... Okay, Kratos didn't force. This is really good. The Pyro meta is really...
Oh, there's a well, you can call it a back cap. It looked more like a front cap. Se7en just kind of threw himself onto the point, and Kratos is finally given in. He's like, fine, I'll put some stickies on the point. So he's done that now, and they want to make this push in, it feels like, over on Verdasti's stuff, but they always keep getting delayed. Either someone's on fire, or someone gets killed, or someone's going for a random play. Very annoying.
Yeah, Se7en is actually spawning on Sniper. Kratos is actually falling really low, down to 20 HP. I don't know how this happened. Probably caught some spam or something, but see Se7en being on Spy right now. Okay, I guess he swapped. Maybe we'll see another drop coming in for Se7en.
Yeah, he is a 100% record right now in this game, so he's probably feeling a little bit good. And he's got the cloak and dagger, just to keep in mind, so he has all the time in the world to actually make this play happen. And by the fact that they haven't lost 3 rounds in the first 6 minutes, it is already going swimmingly for them compared to the last map.
Yeah, definitely. I also really like the little teleporter Stylish put up on the staircase, trying to deny spies, I guess. They're already expecting a spy, though, because Versus' stuff kind of backed out on the spy area, waiting for Se7en to actually make a play, who's just kind of sitting on the barrels, waiting for an opening.
Does this actually work? Is the I remember doing this in like Div 6, in like Season 9, where I was putting these teleporters thinking... I always thought it made me feel better. It was like, oh, I'm doing so much as an engineer. Look, see, spies can't get through here, but it can't possibly work, can it?
I don't think it works, to be honest, because of the clip thingy, you know. I think you can just crouch jump over it, but again, it's something that will delay, maybe.
It's something, well, sadly, they do have the ability to check these classes at any point. So the longer Se7en kind of... Oh, wait, it wasn't Spy. He's actually on Pyro now, I guess. So good of a disguise, he fooled me, but he's sitting on that Pyro and no longer the Spy.
I'm just actually waiting in a forward spawn. I think he might try to go through drop down again. Actually, having a 1v1 with Adela is getting help from
so close.
Down. Yeah, it was really close. Clip falling incredible. Adela's, I mean, falling incredibly low. So let's see what they're trying to do with the Pyro. Se7en sitting. This is so random. What is happening right now? It's like everything's all over the place. Just throwing in their players to go on the point.
Oh, there's a conch coming. I think that's the battalion's backup. Idiski is holding on to the button, so it's really kind of a fake call out of a jump. He will actually bump into Clip, air shots him on the way down. Get down from there, says AMS. And he's a bit tougher than the average bear, as with that battalion's backup means that it's going to be a lot harder to kind of spam out Se7en as a whole, and they're just kind of capping out with the Pyro, because of course that's what you do with the Pyro, you cap the Spire. They do have a sniper in the back of Se7en as well. Flash has decided to keep rolling on forward as that pointy shooty guy. A strange array of classes for Se7en. Makes me wonder if they're even taking this seriously, Babs.
Yeah, as I said, I don't think they are taking it seriously at this point. Again, Thalish is actually getting a really good peek at dropping Kratos with it. Getting that choke opening with the little hero shot. I am all familiar with stuff. So it's Thalish peeking again, trying to find another pick. Se7en is actually hiding in a little bush area. Let's see if it will work out. So this is gonna be a full grad for Se7en right now.
You can see the heal beam. He knows where he's coming from. Actually blocks him from the door, and he can't reach Seeds anymore. Thank God Seeds popped as soon as he could, and to really make sure that he wouldn't die to Se7en. But I think if he held on to it, Babs, he would have lived, because Se7en couldn't get through the window. He got blocked by the said Seeds player.
Yeah, definitely. But it's still like a safer way to go. So actually, Kate is going down from Adelos there. This time, Versus' doof scouts are taking their crash and picking down Seeds as well. Am's falling really low, having that sniper and choke peeking, and Iski in the end picking up Kratos once again.
Yeah, it looked like not everybody was on the same wavelength over on Se7en there. Some people wanted to stay in, some people wanted to exit out, and some people were just getting shot by a scout at a window. And because Diski had a nice turnaround, it will kind of make it bittersweet for the Germans. And Adelos is just manning up, fighting up against 5 players by himself. Will get the Cadus kill right in front of Flash, right in front of Tiger, and well, Seeds was there as well. But what can he do?
Yeah, definitely. A little brave fight from Adelos, showing off that he can still do it and that he is also a newcoming scout.
I just want to remind everybody, it is 0-0 right now on this clock. I know, I'm just as shocked as you, shocky as you guys. As...
Oh
God. With this tied score, you can feel the tension from both of these teams. You can see maybe the seriousness coming back to the Se7en squad, as they're starting to resemble more of a 6v6 lineup without that roaming Pyro running about, and Flash is still picking up kills, or at least some damage on that sniper class, peeking through these random doorways. He did so well to get that pick onto Kratos earlier. He actually gets a headshot onto Smear being laid out there, and he's starting to get a bit more ambitious, taking these more dangerous shots, but really can't find the shot he really wants, which is the shot onto Kratos, who is holding a crit streak right now, Babs.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they decided to do this, since it's been even Ubers, because Seeds died as well. So we will see what they're gonna do with it. I think Smith is waiting for an opening right now, just trying to see where their combo is holding to surprise them with the little crit streak. Adiski is actually trading with Fish Cup on the flank, so maybe we'll see Tiger running through, looking for an opening as well, as far as we know Tiger. He's like kind of just checking right now.
God, it must be so hard to be in this scenario. You've got a crit streak, which is inherently countered just by this Uber, and because of the position of where Se7en are and where they are on this Badlands map, it makes it so hard to get this crit streak off into a nice surprising position. They will actually get the pick off into a Diski over on that flank area. Se7en will be punished for it by Falash, who makes the rotation. do see a bit of house commotion, but nobody really wants to commit in, losing both players on either side, and it will kind of stick to a stalemate. This is a polar opposite from our first game, Babs. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I say that and Kratos gets sniped out.
Again.
Well, I was really hyped for that crits as well, but I don't think they even knew that the crits was happening over on Se7en. They just went like, oh, medic pick, easy. Se7en will go back to that spy because it's worked so well for him before. And Kratos picks up the crit streak again? Alright, okay, well, they will give up mid and meet up with Kratos over in that second point as well. They have to maybe sit a bit more back over on Verdasti stuff because they haven't got an uber charge to threaten them with. Kados is poking around the corner and they will just kind of hold this spire from an arm's length or from a base length if it's probably more accurate. Seed is being spammed out. Will actually get the kill onto Kados with a little sticky trap hidden somewhere, but that's just one player on that Se7en squad. They've got an uber charge that they could probably use into as well. AMS is thinking about it, but they don't want to commit in. Everyone's so indecisive on this Se7en squad. They just want to kind of hold the line. Ams will go down some collection of stickies. Smear is meeting this uber face on against Falash. Falash is actually pulled out of the sword. He's backed off. It's a good thing Ilos picked up that elf pack. Oh, I thought he was going to win the 1v2 for a second there, but Falash will meet his end eventually, but that took way too long. How good Falash is.
Oh. The crits is finally getting popped off by Versus and stuff, kind of not really connecting with any frags other than the point play. Stefan actually getting the little snipe with the, how's the weapon called?
Detonator.
Thank you, the detonator.
I'm good. So, I am smart at the TF2s. If any other unlock, I would not know the name of. Smear goes down in the meantime as we're discovering our first unlock, Zero Team TFTV. AMS goes for the air shot, misses both of them, and Kratos is going to go down as well. I don't know what they were expecting from that push. They lost a fair few players going outside in the first, arrived, but they realised they didn't have all the pieces to make the second push happen, and everyone's just kind of, one word, Verdasti stuff. It just seems to fall apart and it looked so confused.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the crits on the last. I think they didn't really know what to do at this point, so they were kind of indecisive what to do right now. So they tried to push out, but go their way, and Se7en took the round. Now let's see what this mid is gonna bring for Versus and Se7en. Maybe they can actually win another mid fight since they did this the round before.
Oh, Adiski's in, and Adiski's got a kill. That just seems to be the Adiski special right now. Turn up to mid, get kill immediately, as they will kind of counter-aggress over against Seeds, and Seeds will go down. Vishkov goes down to himself as well. With 3 players left on Se7en, they will cap out the midpoint, but I don't think they can guarantee the round.
Yeah, definitely not, since both their medics went down and they're still having like 7-second spawns for Se7en, so it's like enough time for them to set up on liest.
So Kratos will be the first one alive for his team, but it's a shame he's got nobody to heal, so he's not really going to feel that major boost of just the first respawner on his team. Usually if your medic respawns a little bit quicker, you can kind of get that uber advantage just by war of attrition, but he's got nobody to really build that war with, as they are making their way into the second point now. Maybe a bit risky from Se7en because they haven't got a guaranteed uber to go to if this plan
Kratos
goes sour.
Is falling so low, he's on 10 HP. Oh no, he dies to the roller from Kados. Just getting all the spam in, and Tiger's going in from the flank, just wiping. This is looking really bad for Versus right now. Just getting wiped by the spam, and then Kratos getting caught out by the roller. That's just really unlucky for them. Seeds actually fell as well in this scenario, which I didn't really quite catch.
Yeah, Smear just barreled in, went straight in front of him, did a sticky jump, hit him with a pipe. It's that old chestnut as a demo man, but it just feels like Kratos gets like 5 million daggers thrown at him, while Seeds just has like one little thing to deal with, and he ends up meeting the same fate as Kratos. And it's just so hard for both of these teams. It feels like Se7en doesn't have to try very hard to get the Kratos kill, while the Germans have to try extremely hard to get Seeds, and they will eventually get it, but that's not what's going to win them these rounds here, Babs.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now Versus is also a bit insecure with their aggression, trying not to get rolled over once again, but they're kind of looking to
Uh-oh.
push out and actually they
It's,
have the fire.
it's the lay
The
balance.
WM1 getting a 3k.
It's the
For
lay
Se7en.
balanced fireman. He just came in from the side and just held that W key, held the mouse one, and he's probably going to get a third kill as well. Actually pushes him back for his scouts instead. Gets the fourth kill anyway in the shape of Fishkoff on the point. What is TF2, Babs? It is not how I remember it.
Yeah, me neither. Just the pyro with the little WM1 coming in with the little flank, as we know, Tiger. Getting that 4k.
Well, it is 2-0 now, 12 minutes left. It's looking a lot more closer to our first map than it was before. They've still got it in them, however. 2 rounds is not the death of it, but it is a nice cushy position for Se7en. They will actually get the Adiski kill out as the first blood on this mid instead for a change. And Stefan's trying to go aggress against onto Kato. So, well, actually, Kratos to his death as he gets peppered out into the sky. Smear is feeling a lot of hate from his previous teammate there, AMS. And with just Kratos alive, he's going to meet the extended respawn. That is a good 8 seconds or so ahead of the rest of his team there. Oof. It's got to hurt if you're on Verdast East doof.
Yeah, definitely. I think they were kind of all over the place, not really knowing which to focus first, so it just all died one by one. So it's another full Uber scenario for Team Se7en. And Thalish actually being on Spy. Oh no, okay, he actually just swapped spawns. I thought we were gonna see another spicy.
Well,
But actually saying that, Stefan is being on Spy once again, trying to maybe get another drop of seeds.
I mean, it's happened quite a fair few times now. If you're Seeds, you must be adapting at this point. You must think that there could be a spy at any moment, as it's been happening so commonly in the game. But we've seen this exact same scenario from round 1. Is it going to happen again? Oh, the scout is actually paying attention. He heard the whoosh of the door and will turn around, hit Se7en between the eyes, and they're looking to hit the point with this Uber. They've got the sentry gun to deal with. They will find the pipes onto that dispenser and sentry gun combo, 2 for the price of 1. They've got Kados on that point now, pressuring it. It takes so much damage, so much focus to actually deal with Kados. They didn't deal with these 2 soldiers spamming the ground. 3-0 on the board already, Babs.
Yeah, right now it seems like, I don't know. I think Velas's stuff is kind of losing their focus at this point.
They're on autopilot right now. It looks like 3-0 on the scoreboard, but is it 5-0 in their minds, Babs? Tell me. Is it?
Probably. I don't know, it's Se7en doesn't really seem to take it that seriously anymore, either running the sniper and spy and pyro, you know. I think...
Oh,
actually,
Kato gets a nice airshot onto Clip there, who was being pushed up by all this scout.
Oh,
but he bought a lot.
actually in the valley.
Yeah, bought a lot of space for his team. Kados actually takes back the space by force and jumps all the way himself. He isn't going to walk with his medic. He don't need no pussy Ubers, as he will kind of pipe out not just that I lost earlier, but gets the Fishkoff kill as well. Kratos will go down to AMS over in this choke area as well. They've got Seeds still kicking alive on this midpoint, so they could probably start snowballing this into the second, into the last point, and maybe this is time for another bite-esque Kritzkrieg that Kratos has been favouring all game. No, it's a meta. It's a meta gun.
Yeah, we see Atlas kind of already trying to get that sentry gun up. Again, with Se7en having a full Uber, trying to kind of maybe delay the push, and maybe they can bail out Uber. Actually, Fishkoff and Adiski having a little nice 1v1 on Spire. It seems like Adiski's backing out, getting support from his team. Se7en is taking this once again for free, since Velas's kind of has to back out.
Yeah, they're taking a little bit longer than usual because they have to deal with some scouts that found their way behind over on Se7en, but they will get that second point now. They have got the Uber charge, and because they had such a strong lead, they've still got the advantage. They've got a Pyro to deal with. They launch AMS actually towards the sentry gun instead, gets the kill onto Smear. That's a wonderful Uber from them now. They've got no guaranteed sort of point pressure, and there you go. Just as I've said it, the round is over. It is 4-0 for Se7en. It's looking to be like a clean sweep of these playoffs, Babs. Is there any hope?
I would like to say there's hope, but I am.
That is the most politically correct answer I would like it to be close, but it's not. Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to be positive, but it's looking really grim for Vertices stuff right now. Crowd is actually kind of holding towards their shit house, and Cliff holding really low in the beginning. Their soldiers are constantly low, trying to get arrows. Crowd is kind of caught out and not connected with his team, not being able to heal. Smear is already going out as well, trying to deal with AMS. Maybe he can get this little pick, but Se7en is already pushing through choke.
Oh my god, AMS was chasing them. He got some very nice damage on the just gets out by the skin of his teeth, but Cadus is like, gotcha! I'm right behind you, gotcha! With those sticky traps on the door. Didn't even see him coming, as they will lose another medic for Kratos, another death for that log, as they get the sentry gun before it's even built up into a level 2. And Kados is playing with his food. The point is right there, he could take it, but they want to get the smear kill instead. They think about stepping onto the point. The pyro will actually make things a little bit difficult, and there's just 2 scouts left. There's no medic to really guarantee this, but Idolos will kind of, there we go.
With the nice little 2k, with the nice little rocket winning the round and the game as well for Team 7.
Oh damn, that was a quick evening of TF2. We've barely scratched what feels like an hour. So
Yeah,
a bit rare. This is usually what we expect from a day in, day out week game of ETF2L, but this is the playoffs, need to remind you. It's upper bracket round 1, and it does mean that they will be sent into the lower bracket over on the liest doof. So they'll be facing off against the loser of the Ascent versus Omni 5 game. I can only assume that hasn't finished yet, because this was a very, very quick game. So before we kind of settle things off there, we do have to lay our congratulations to Se7en, who will guarantee themselves into that upper bracket final against the winner of that Ascent versus Omni 5 match. But before we go into commiserations or maybe some interviews, Babs, let's have a look at some logs.
Yeah, definitely. This time, I think Vertices stuff did better than in process, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Also, looking at the damage, Smear with the nice little top damage of his team, but yeah, still with the strong top damage for the entire game. But
So
yeah, it's
now, Babs, you were maintaining a positive attitude. It was inspiring, almost a positive attitude throughout the game. But let's keep the positivity up. What are some things that you liked about Verdasti Stuff's play? Was there anything in particular? We don't have to cite the logs. If you can remember just a moment where you were like, yeah, that was good. If they kept that up constantly, that would have been really, it might have been round winning.
I think the first mid was really good for them. Kind of made it messy, but messy in their own way. Because I think with Se7en, it's a lot. They can't really handle messy situations. So if you just collapse onto them, they're kind of like, oh, okay, which target should I focus first? And kind of getting seeds really early. Meanwhile, being able to let Kratos live, which wasn't really happening at the end of the game that much. So. I think if they kept it up and just, as I said again, I still think they kind of lost their focus throughout the game. If they kept their focus, I think they could have fought even better, even though I think they did pretty well considering that they got rolled in 10 minutes on process and still kind of kept up their attitude and tried to make up a good fight.
So, about today, Babs, do you think this was just a bad day in the office for Verdasti Stuff? Are they usually playing better than this, or are Se7en just on a whole new level right now? Can they just not be caught up by a team like Verdasti Stuff?
I think it's a mixture of both. I had the pleasure to play with Reda stuff, and they're actually decent. They can compete with a lot of prem teams, but I think Se7en spiced up a lot of things this evening. Getting aggression, we usually don't really see that often. Just like sending Tiger behind, sending a Disky in for bombs, and just a mixture of both. I think the balance between those 2 factors. Just I still believe in them. I still believe they can put up a good fight in the finals, and yeah, I think they will prove all the people wrong in the end.
Well, I have got one winning tactic for them actually, Verdasti Stuff. If they were to beat it out against Se7en when they meet with them potentially in the later playoff. This is exactly what they need to do, Babs, okay? You're listening closely. So I want them to go to ETF2L.org. I want them to contact an admin. I want them to request a demo from Tiger. And Tiger will guarantee not have that demo, and he will get that third strike that Kados has been trying so desperately to erase against not only Tiger but his team as well, and just kick him out of the playoffs. Is that the best way of going about it? I think so.
Haven't you seen though? I think Adiski put in chat that Tiger actually installed PREG and it says, "Please don't ban me" when it starts to record. So I think this is not a tactic that will work out that well for them.
They're untouchable.
So
they're like Superman with no kryptonite. What do we do? All right. Well, we are looking at some of Gentleman John's extended stats, despite my lack of attention and respect given towards them, and it's only because it's a 5-0. Look at all that blue. It's a bit cruel to look at. I mean, the only reason that Verdast East doof got that sort of second point of sevens is because when the one round, or that one mid that they won, it's Badlands, they snowballed it, never really had a chance to fight in that second point as well. And again, a lot of blue on that on that little left-hand side, the domination board. I lost. We'll get a lot of kills onto Kados, believe it or not. That's a bit of a head scratcher, but I don't know. Maybe we should just kind of put the maths away and start talking to the humans of the game. We are brought in or introducing our gamers, our champions, and our soon-to-be redeemed champions, possibly in the coming playoffs to behold. It is Kratos from Verdast East doof. Sorry, my German is terrible. Seeds from Se7en, Smear from Verdast East doof, and Tiger from Se7en. Welcome, guys. Welcome. First off, I want to say congratulations to Seeds and Tiger for that, I guess, sail into upper bracket final. How are you feeling?
Very good.
Seeds?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay. Well, let's go over to the German side now. I'm very bad at kind of consoling people that have not been so fortunate at winning their games this evening, but hard luck, guys. I'm going to ask you the first question of the evening. What went wrong? Tell me about this first map. Smear, what went wrong with this process map?
All right. Well, I think our communication was quite bad. We were really out of sync with everything we did.
Would you agree, Kratos?
Yes, it was really chaotic today, more than ever.
What do you think is the reason for it? Is it just like a bad day? Is somebody you didn't have a chance to scrim, or someone's had a rough day at work?
Well, I mean, obviously Se7en great game as well, so it's always hard to play against Se7en, but it went much better in the scrims we had before and in the week 7 official as well. But I think, yeah, every one of us had a bad day, and then we switched the scout roles up again, which wasn't the reason why we lost, but we swapped up like so many things again, and then we wanted to switch the soldier roles, and I don't know, it was just chaotic today. We didn't have a good game.
Yeah, it really didn't feel like the atmosphere was what it usually is.
Well, if we go into the Badlands games, it was better. Like, you guys made it really close for a long portion of the game, and then it slowly but surely went to Se7en's way. What did you guys change in that sort of mid-halfway point of the entire match to kind of make things better on this Badlands? Was it just the map itself, or was it an attitude change or something like that?
We played a bit more structured, I believe. We lost the grip at some point, but we had the upper hand for a while in the beginning until we lost a round. Their last stall seems extremely powerful, especially with the pyro.
How about you, Kratos? Did you spot anything, any sort of shifts or change between these two maps going into Badlands?
Yeah, I mean, we had a good start in Badlands. We took some control over some points as well, but we didn't really have the opportunity to really push them. Se7en did it really well. They knew we had over advantage on that second point after the mid fight, I believe. And then they just went back and set up their last defense, and we didn't really have an opportunity to use Innova at all. We were just stalemating around, waiting for picks. And yeah, Se7en did that really well. And then they had people sending, like they sent people in. Ems somehow got behind 2 times, I believe, and almost got the drop on me. But then, yeah, I don't know. We couldn't really use an advantage at all.
All right, let's bring it on over to the Se7en side of things. Now, Tiger, I've got to get this question out of the way. Do you have PREC installed finally?
I do.
Oh, thank God. Okay, ETF2L admins, you can hold back the ban stamp. We have got it confirmed right here. But, I mean, what can we say about that? It's a 5-0, 5-0, guys. You made it look maybe not easy, but it was quick. It was stylish. Comfortable, yeah. But it was still a good game to watch, despite it. Now, how is this new lineup going? You guys are a new squad. We need to keep reminding people, but it seems like things are going really well right now. Is this like a honeymoon phase, or expect to grow from this?
Yeah, we're still going to get a lot better.
How about you, Seeds? Do you feel like there's still stuff going wrong in this squad, despite it looking so good on the stream?
I mean, the stuff that I know is going wrong is definitely all on my end, and that's something that I need to fix. But I'll fix it, and then we'll be great.
I mean, maybe I can press you. Like, is there any sort of just? I want you to just spill out all of your worst scenarios. What do you think went wrong for you in these 2 matches?
Well, 2 main things on the first round was because I've spent 2 years of Badlands. Walking up straight into my choke and sitting there the entire mid is kind of ingrained to my brain. So the soldier is on under and I can easily dodge him, but my brain says walk up, so then I die. And then the other time was it's like pushing bottom right last with full ad, and I don't check a single time behind myself for a spy, and it's like, oh look, I'm dead.
Oh damn. Well,
Yeah.
Small mistakes though, it's not massive.
Now, we are in playoffs, guys. I'm not sure if you've noticed playing them, but it does mean we are introduced into our map picks and bans, and I feel like every time I bring up this question, it's always we're good at all the maps. We're all, we don't feel weak on any of them. It hasn't played any part in the evening, but come on, guys. For my sake, tell me, did the maps play a part at all this evening? Do you think it would have been different if the maps were different? I'm gonna send this over to Mastermind Smear first.
No.
God.
Maybe we would have gotten like a round or something, but we should have played a lot better on these maps. If it was a good day, we would have gotten a few rounds for sure, but probably not one.
Do you think if you knew that the games were going to be like they were going to be, do you think you would have picked a different map other than Process? How about that?
No.
Okay, well,
it's the map that I've seen most inconsistency from Se7en on.
All right, okay, Tiger, give me something here. Come on, is there something about these maps that do you think you? Well, actually, it's probably not a bit too much to say. I can't really demand you tell a weak map from your team, but did you think long and hard about these map picks over in your squad, or did you just pick any maps?
I wasn't to do with anything in the map picking,
God,
so I guess we're just confident in all of them. No, I think like Process. I reckon they picked Process because when we played them last week, sort of struggled on the mids and things like that.
Yeah, we've lose Process mid. That's our thing.
So we've basically cleaned that up a lot more now. So we're a lot better on the map as a
We
whole.
had a really close scrim against Ascent before that game on Process. They took 2 rounds off of us and we came back to 3-2 at the end. And I think that really helped us with our mindset going into that game.
Tell me about this product ban. Now, it's quite infamous at this point. Every time I see Se7en play, they're going to ban this map of product. Despite it being an entirely different squad, there's something about product.
If I'm on any other team apart from Se7en, product is probably my best map. Playing with Se7en, it's okay, but it's not great.
What is it?
Probably
is it just...
Cadus.
What is just Cadus?
I don't know. To be fair, I don't know what it is. We just would rather not play that map.
Do you think at any point in the playoffs you guys are going to maybe sneak away from it? Maybe switch it out for like a Sunshine map or something like that?
Sunshine, we're very, very good on Sunshine. We're very good on most maps. Like, we're consistent on most maps now. It's just polishing the maps now. That's the problem.
Sunshine is our city.
Kratos, What about the snake water ban? You guys, what was the reasoning behind that? If you mind indulging me.
Felt like we didn't really play well coordinated on snake water in the scrims, and it felt much more structured on like maps like process and badlands.
Apologies, I have to go. I will,
Bye, Tiger.
But yes, thank you for joining us, Tiger. We'll bid you adieu.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
All right.
It
Well-
didn't really matter in the end because we weren't structured at all on any of these maps today. But it felt like Snakewater was one of our weakest maps when we scrimmed over the last week.
Now, this is the upper bracket, so it doesn't mean you've still got one more chance, guys. And we don't know what the next result of the other map that's being played, or the other match that's being played on a different stream right now. Is there a certain team that you're looking to play in this lower bracket? Were you hoping for an Omni 5, or do you prefer to actually do an upset and get sent out early, or who would you like to face off in your lower bracket game?
Well, we're gonna play against Omni 5.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
going
it's
to play, so it's been
already
decided, is it?
The
Yeah.
other match ended.
Ah, okay.
2-0 for us. And
I guess expected.
yeah, that's what we expected, and I think that's the game we're looking forward to. It's probably gonna be close and exciting.
So, Seeds, what about the Ascent versus Se7en match? Are you nervous at all? It's a big game. I mean, you guys did you take it? No, I think it was actually went Ascent's way, didn't it? And that's week 2, or you should really call it week 6.
4 points to 2. They took a golden cap, we took a map.
Ah, okay. All right, I get you. So you did walk away with it overall, but how are you feeling coming into this playoff game? Do you think that it's going to be even closer, or you guys have done a lot of work towards this Ascent match coming up?
I think it's... I don't know. I'm nervous about every game I go into with Se7en, to be honest, because I'm wildly aware that I'm the weakest player and that I'm there to learn. So anything that comes out of it, I'm happy with, and I just want to try our hardest and not like flail around once we get an advantage like we did on Gully.
I know you're feeling the weakest right now, but how do you think your trial is going over? I heard that have they actually made it official yet? Are you Se7en's medic, or is it still in the trial period?
Till the end of the season, yeah.
Ah, okay, I get you. So if they win the entire thing, they're gonna keep Seeds. If they lose the entire thing, they're gonna blame Seeds. I got you. I know how TF2 works. All right, I think I'm all out of questions. Babs, I'm not sure if you've got some better analytical questions in your back pocket.
No, I think you covered everything.
All right, smashing. So you guys know the deal by now. You come into the interview, you answer my dumb questions, you get a little shout out on the stream. So we're going to start alphabetically, skipping casters, skipping Gemm, as per tradition. Kratos, have you got any special people out there you want to shout out to?
Shout out to my team, shout out to Moogle,
Moogle Sex God.
and shout out to Vert. Happy birthday.
Seeds.
Shout out to Moogle. Shout out
Nice.
to Charlie. And shout out to Mac.
Smear.
Shout out to Alba and Kaiser and Demos that we're gonna face in the next game.
Babs, any special people?
Shout out to Umbre, because he's always shout-outing me, so I kind of have to return a favor. Shout out to Polygon and to Jake and to Raymond.
We're gonna gloss over Gemm. He's a producer. He only got second place in that 4v4 UGC, so we don't acknowledge losers here.
Gemm, I value you.
I don't. So we go. I'm going to give a big shout out to everybody at home watching. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget we've also got this second match, the Ascent versus Omni 5, covered. It's going to be hitting our YouTube any day now, so keep your eyes on that. But if you can't wait, we've got a Twitch VOD that you can always scale back to. We've also got a website if you want to talk about it and look at pictures of poop or all the other things that the fun forum people at TFTV like to come up with. They are truly a special lot. We've also got a Twitter as well if you want to probably talk to some more normies out there in regards to TF2. So you can follow us on that bad boy. And if you want to like us on Facebook, show grandma what you've been doing out of hours, you can find us on Facebook as well. But Other than that, I've been TurboTabs, and joining me has been Babs on the co-cast, Gem on production, Kratos, Seed, Smear, and a little bit of Tiger as well were our interviewees. This was our coverage of ETF2L Season 29 Premiership Playoff Upper Bracket Round 1, Se7en versus, oh god, das ist doof.
Das liest is doof.
You did a pretty good
That's
job.
I'm pretty sure that's why I said Smear. Come on now. Now, yeah, that's everything. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Come on, guys. Wave to the PC. Wave to your PC monitor. Come on.
I don't have a monitor.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Gem, cut it. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.